Hello everybody, Qorbane here, coming to you from Protector's Enclave, standing here with my favorite companion, Winnie the Hoot. And I'm going to cover some starter information for people just getting into the game, and they've just hit level 20 and they're trying to figure out, well, what do I do now? So, try to give you some of my perspective to try to help you out the best I can, and tell you how I did it and how I'd suggest other people kind of fondle around there and get to where they're going, and maybe this will help you out too. So some of the first things that I did when I hit level 20, or I would suggest to do when you hit level 20, is to make sure by the time you hit level 20 that you have your workshop unlocked. Now when you're going up from level 1 to 20, you'll be able to unlock your workshop, and you'll want to spend some time here every day doing it so that you can make gold. Gold is kind of important. It's not overall that important, but for a lot of stuff that you do, you're going to need it, and you're going to need a lot of it. So getting your gold mixed out and doing a little gold every day will help you out in the long run. I'll do a little video on that too, to try to help people out to understand what that's about, but I want to kind of keep my videos a little short. So short and sweet, covering different topics, and I'll have different videos covering those topics. So some of the gear that you'll want to start out with at level 20, a lot of it will come from this lady. She's your adventure seal trader, and as you're coming up from level 20, you'll gather a lot of adventure seals. You've probably been spinning them from either from her or from the guy that's inside Protector's Enclave, where you find Sergeant Knox. But this lady right here is the one outside. She stands next to the statue, and she's in the giant bazaar. Is where you'll go to a lot of times if you don't want to go inside there. So in your class gear, you'll want to basically get this, and this will be your first starter set basically. As you can see, it's not great, but it's item level, and this is where you're just working from. You'll get your armor, your helmet, your legs, your bracers, your weapons, your shirt, your pants, and 2 rings. And that'll be where you start. So once you get that stuff started, then you start working on doing your quests. So you see here in your campaigns, these are the ones that you start with. These are your level 1 to 20 ones. So you'll want to start up here, and I do highly recommend doing Undermountain Adventures. Undermountain Adventures is really good. It unlocks Undermountain, which is where you can go to the tavern at the end, and there's a lady at the tavern that has these exploration quests that she'll send you out on 3 a day. You kind of want to do those. Those are good. They'll get you some decent gear. They'll get you some companion gear if you're lucky, shirts and rings and so on and so forth. There's a set of rings that you get through the Undermountain Adventure that a lot of people use nowadays that are still pretty good, and they're mainly used to get you your stats. So doing that and getting that up is important. If you get a monthly thing where you're doing the VIP, you'll amount trade bars, which trade bars can be used here at this merchant here to get you a weapon set if you want. This is what I did. I did buy this set, and I used this for a long time. The Mountaineer set. It's not great, but it is a set, and it's better than the other one that you get with your adventure seals. So once you get those, use that. Your first part of the game is going to be to rocket your item level up as fast as you can, really, because you're going to want to skip over and do Descent into Avernus. Once you get into Avernus, a lot of stuff becomes easier for you. You'll get into Avernus, you'll start doing what they call Insurgencies while you're doing the quest line. Always going, when you unlock Insurgencies, it's one of the quest lines, you'll talk to Alwick, and he'll send you to Makos, and Makos will send you to another lady, and then you'll start working on unlocking your Forger's box, and that'll unlock Insurgencies for you. Insurgencies, the best part about them, other than unlocking your Forger's box, the best part about Insurgencies is what they call chaotic writings, which is what you receive after completing an insurgency. Also from doing heroics, both the minor and the major ones there. Also from doing the daily quests. The chaotic writings are used to buy Juma bags. And Juma bags are where you'll get a lot of companions, a lot of mounts, and a lot of gear that is very helpful to you. So some of the gear for your low level adventures that you can get from Juma bags are still used for our higher level adventures too sometimes, depending on what your level of play is whenever you get going. So the main ones you want to look for while you're opening Juma bags are rusted iron legs, which is also dropped by a mini boss that wanders around there called Abomination, which if you can find him and kill him, he gives you seals, and he also will have a chance of dropping rusted iron leggings. And the spiked defender vimbraces, which these are some of the best offensive arm pieces in the game, even now. So that extra damage is important. So from Juma bags, this is the kind of stuff you're looking for. For a long time, the chest piece that I used was this Clingy leather coat, which is also dropped by one of the mini bosses near a well. But I got mine out of a Juma bag, and I just wore it for a long time. I just liked it. It was good armor. It's what I used. But you can use a lot of stuff that's dropped from there, depending on what you get. This used to be one of the better helmets in the game until better ones came out, so it's been a while. So, rocketing your way through the game at first, doing Undermountain to get into Avernus is very important. Once you get into Avernus, you can farm Juma bags to your heart's content and pick up random companions, pick up random mounts, fill out your bolster, get equipment like the vimbraces, and then when you're not doing that, you can go to you can leave Vollenhof and go into Avernus to do at the Wandering Emporium to start working on collecting treasure maps. The treasure maps have a weapon set in there called the Legion weapon set, which is it's another weapon set you could get to keep you going until you get a better one. You raise it up and use it. Treasure maps also net you the bars to get higher and get that area cleared out so that you have the boons from completing Descent. And you'll also, what you're trying to do is unlock the Bleeding Citadel. Once you get the Bleeding Citadel unlocked through there, you'll be able to do what they call the Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 hunts, which you can do without unlocking it, but it helps a lot if you have it unlocked. And you'll start gathering Zarya's favor a lot through that, and Zarya's favor is what you use to get some of the other weapon sets and items through there, so it's helpful. So basically, I would highly recommend doing Undermountain at first, not worrying too much about gear, not worrying too much about anything. You're just trying to get what you can to stick to get your item level up. Then you go to Vollenhof to do Insurgencies, and Avernus to do treasure maps to get to the Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 hunts so that you can get better gear, and Bleeding Citadel, so on and so forth, to do that. And that's a lot of your in-game stuff there. So while you're doing that, you also, when you got the level to do it, you want to unlock Sharndar. Sharndar is unlocked pretty much after you've done Path of the Fallen, which is the part of the Descent campaign. You'll go through it and get that, and it'll unlock the Bleeding Citadel here. And then you'll gather some gear from there, and then you'll want to go into Sharndar. Not really to get Sharndar stuff too much. It's kind of outdated now. But Sharndar, the most important thing about doing Sharndar is to unlock the Vault of Stars. Which the Vault of Stars is where you get your in-game stuff now through the game. Pretty much it's still, even though they've brought out Dragonbone Vale, nothing in Dragonbone Vale really matches up to what you get from Vault of Stars. So a lot of your end game is spent farming Vault of Stars. Dragonbone Vale, I really get a kick out of it, so I always tell everybody I love Dragonbone Vale. I go here because a lot of the stuff that you get from Dragonbone Vale is good for you to have if you don't want to spend all your time farming Vault of Stars. It's your B team stuff is pretty much what it is. So you go here and do this and get that. You also want to make sure that you're doing your daily queues and RTQs and so on and so forth. If you like doing that, you're just trying to mount up rough astral diamonds and astral diamonds. I never really put too much effort into doing all that, so, and I did just fine. I did my stuff the other way. Some of the way I did it is I got my rough astral diamonds from Juma Bags, from Adventure Seals, which I used to buy astral diamonds from her. You buy these bags of rough astral diamonds, and then I'd get items and stuff from the treasure chests that I open, or the chests that I open. Occasionally I'd get a mount or a companion and I'd sell it on the auction house, and that's how I made a lot of my astral diamonds. Also, used to be a lot easier to get enchantments, so a lot of the enchantments that I bought back then, I'd buy them here from him, and then I'd sell them on the auction house to make astral diamonds that I'd use to buy other things. So that's pretty much the starter video for this. It's a rough go around of some of the basic stuff you do at the front. Find yourself a good guild if you can, if you like talking to people. If you don't, I went solo for years, so you don't have to have them, but I do know that it helps out. I've seen a lot of difference in the way I play, in other way other people play, and how they do stuff, and how much easier it is if you are in a good guild, at a good guild that'll help you, especially when it comes to doing some of the quests that you can't do by yourself. The entire game can be soloed. I've soloed the entire game. I just don't do things like, as you see on the screen, the Malborg's Castle or the Strahd or any of that stuff. I just don't do those. Those are things that require teams and to do quests, and I just don't really get a kick out of doing those. So that's not how I play the game. All the stuff that I got, I've acquired primarily from, this is from Tier 1 hunts, I bought on the auction house, I picked up in doing some of the stuff. I bought this one. This was one of the rings from Undermountain, which is pretty good, and a lot of this stuff, this weapon set is all soloable, except for there's one part you have to do a quest in it to get a part for it, but ultimately super easy. These stuff is all soloable, except for, picking it up here and there. It's a little grindy, but you get it. So you can solo the entire thing, and I have pretty much most of everything that I have I've acquired soloing. There's a few oddball things that I've gotten here and there, but you can do it. But the first half of the game is really grindy on getting there, but don't lose heart in it. You just go for it and get it. Always make sure to do your prayer thing to get these, because these give you bonuses there, and it also helps you pick up these coins. And these coins are used to buy here in the Vault of Piety some of the stuff to help boost your percentages. This is a lot of the foods and stuff that people use to get their 5% bonuses. You also get it from here, and you get 11 of them. These have a chance to drop coalescent motes, which are very helpful. So the next video I'll do is covering enchantments, to try to help people out figure out enchantments, at least the way I've found it out. If you need help or need any advice, just post it down below, a question, and I'll try to answer as best I can. I'm just trying to do these videos to help people out, so if I have any way, shape, or form am able to help you out here with telling you anything that I know or anything like that, be sure to ask. I'll gladly answer as best I can. Just the starting out part is, it just seems like a wall, but it's not. and it's a lot easier now than it used to be. So getting your character up pretty quick is pretty fast. You just have to just put into it and go. You can do it in a couple days, really. So anyway, I hope that helps. Like I said, I'm trying to make these videos as fast or as short as I can, so it doesn't take up a lot of time. So I'm going to do another video on some other stuff before too long, so hopefully they'll help out too. Until next time, this is Qorbane from Neverwinter. Winnie the Hoot says goodbye, so have a good day. Bye.